Hello Libra. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Libra is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. All right. If there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Libra, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And, oh gosh, could it get any better than that? An Ace of Cups. A beautiful way to start the day. This is my first reading today, and that is a really lovely way to begin any day. This is a lot of love. This is now, a lot of readers will say this is the beginning of something that's very essential to your life, the beginning of a path, the beginning of a relationship. But to me, it kind of feels like this is an accomplishment in itself, right? Getting to the Ace of Cups. This is kind of the summit of the mountain, the top of the hill there, right? Well, let's put it into some context. And there's the Eight of Wands. There's the moon energy. It's Six of Wands. All right. Interesting. We've got the Knight of Swords. This is your power card. This is the cardinal air energy, the Libra energy in action. So we got to see what's going on with that. And now we've got a Four of Wands. So we've got a nice kind of progression here into this stage of completion. We have all even numbers, right? With the 6, the 8, the 4. Oh, we've got the Eon or Judgment. Another 4. Another 4. And the Empress. Oh my gosh, you've got the best. I don't know if I'm going to do any better readings than this today. This seems like this is going to be it. We're going to select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. I think a lot of really wonderful things are coming into your life. I really, really do, especially with this, the 444 activation here. Okay, mystery card, Little Bob Ross, right on top. Happy Little Bob. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. All right. It'll give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during the reading you feel like you might know what that is, put your prediction down in the comments. All right. Let's do it together. Let's raise our vibrations. Let's tap into intuition, and let's make this an exercise in intuition. All right. But first, let's take a look around the room here, because we have a pretty nice trilogy of major arcana: the Moon, the Eon, the Empress. Right. So what might feel like darkness, obscurity, what might be right now shrouded in mystery, it will be revealed to you, and you will attain this Empress status. Which I really think is like your best life, true happiness. Right. Kind of having everything that you want, everything that you need. You have health, wealth, you're healing, you're vibing with others. It's really, this is really, really wonderful. We have the fourfold activation, right? We've got the 444, which means that all of this energy will manifest, it will be grounded, it will reach solidification in the realm of the 4 elements, which is, this realm that we're in right now. We have a lot of fire, and that's kind of that's the effort that it's going to take for you to manifest this Empress energy. We do have water, obviously, right here in the middle, and that's kind of that's the whole focus, right? Is this kind of happiness, this destiny, this meaning, purpose. This is value, this is enrichment, this is healing, right? This is all of these things that feel really good on a deep soul level, right? Not just the surface level desires, although it is those too, right? So we've got our fire, we've got our water, we do have our air, which I think is important, especially for a Libra. It is very much going to involve your interactions with others, right? How you are relating to the world around you, how you are connecting with other people, right? And of course, we have our earth energy, which that's also a kind of difficult place. It's in a position of what we don't really want. And I don't think it's necessarily that. I think it is what we need to be aware of so that we can get to the Empress. See, we have this Four of Pentacles, and it kind of looks like we're starting to build a tower, right? This is the foundation of a tower. That tower, if we stay here, that will isolate us from everything else. This is maybe representing just the surface level desires, the satisfaction of maybe our basic needs only, and not extending anything further, right? Getting locked up in this very very restricted attainment, right? We'll get there as we get through the cards. But first, let's look at this Ace of Cups, right? This is the beauty and the magic. And now, usually, the Holy Grail is shrouded in mystery, right? The Grail Knights kept the Grail covered, with a silk kind of cloth. They kept it shrouded. And I feel like you maybe are sensing a little bit of this in your own life. That your own kind of holiness is shrouded. Your essence is shrouded. Your happiness, what means the most to you in life. Right? But this isn't just, and I think that's where the Four of Pentacles comes in. This isn't material attainments. Well, it's not just material attainments. It's about physical health and wealth as well. But it is so much more than that. It's almost a question of, do you want to be known for what you have or what you produce, or for who you are, for your character, for your essence, right? Is that what's important to you? I think both can be true. I think we want to have things. We want to have comforts. We want to have security and stability in our physical lives, right? We want health. We want wealth. But we want a lot more than that, right? It's not just the surface level stuff. It goes really, really deep. And this is obviously the Ace of Cups. This is the beginning of all of these things. This is the seed that will unfold into a lavish garden. Well, maybe that Empress, But this is also the kind of the goal of things too. This is saying that we've been at the bottom of the mountain, and we've climbed our way to the top where we've discovered our Holy Grail. Now this Holy Grail, once you find it, then it can heal everything and produce the abundance in our lives, right? So we have the beginning and we've got the result of that. But first you got to find this, right? So this is both the beginning and the end, right? It's the 1 and the 0. And I think once we find this, we will get to this. But what I'm sensing with you is that there is a bit of a mystery in your life right now. There's this moon energy underneath you. And to me, it kind of feels, it doesn't feel bad in any way. It feels like we kind of like the mystery. We like the search. We like almost viewing our life as this kind of, like a novel, And it's a mystery novel in a way, where we're trying to uncover more and more about ourselves. And the process of uncovering ourselves, we take the covers off, right? We take off what isn't us, and we don't really need it anymore, right? I mean, that's the whole thing of discovering or uncovering something, taking layers off that we don't need to get to the core, And I think that's a lot of the allure of this journey. It is that mystery. It is that process of stripping layers off of ourselves. And a lot of these layers are, well, the many, many desires that we have, right? Which ones are worth filling? Which ones are worth pursuing? Okay. So the moon energy tells me that there is this mystery, and that kind of there's an uncertainty about the future. So in some ways, we can't really see the Empress. We know the energy is there, just as we know the sun will rise tomorrow. We're pretty darn sure. But we can't really see it yet, right? It's still shrouded in darkness, in a little bit of mystery, more or less mystery. I think that's kind of part of the fun here, but I also think that this is it's a challenge, right? I'm also sensing that a lot of you have a connection with fish. I don't know if pay attention to fish symbols in your life for the next few days, okay? Let's talk about the Six of Wands this is in the past position. This is kind of behind you. I think that you've had a lot of difficulties in your life. And you've overcome a lot of difficulties in your life. Doesn't mean that you've always won, right? We have a desire for something, doesn't mean we always get it. But somehow that situation will resolve. Either we get it or we don't, right? This card's titled Victory. But victory doesn't always mean getting what you want, right? So when I say you've overcome a situation, it doesn't mean that every situation has always worked out in your favor. No, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, right? Sometimes someone else is faster, or, sometimes we make a mistake and we don't get where we're going. But the real victory here is each one of those experiences, win or lose, is teaching you so much about yourself, right? And I think this is how we're getting to where we are today, because of all of these, learning experiences. The way that you are understanding and appreciating your strengths as well as your weaknesses. Yeah. So we have something to work towards. So we know what we're all about. We know what we're trying to do. We have something to focus on as we're stripping these layers off of ourselves and getting to that essence, getting to that Holy Grail, that Ace of Cups, right? So I'm not trying to get too psychological or too mystical. I think that happiness is coming into your life. I think that with this Eight of Wands, you've got a lot of options right now. And I think that there's a bit of an anxiety in you. And I think it's sometimes because there are so many options. You ever go to the grocery store to buy cereal? It's a wall of cereal. How do you know? I guess you can pick which cereal you've always liked. Might as well just have it again. I know I like it, right? That doesn't really teach us much. That's not stripping layers away from ourselves. Pick something pick something you probably don't like. Or better yet, close your eyes and just randomly pick one. That'll teach us a lot about ourselves. Maybe we'll get home, we'll taste, and it'll just be really, really bad. And we don't like it. Well, that's okay. We're learning about what we like and don't like, but we're also learning something that transcends those likes and dislikes. We're able to do something anyway, even if we don't really like it on the surface. There's something beneficial in it. Yeah. So we're looking for the meaning in every experience, every situation, even in the losses, even in the things we don't like to do. Yeah. We don't like sitting in traffic. Traffic, I'm from California, I know about traffic. That's one of the best learning experiences ever, right? You really get to see what you're made of when you're sitting in traffic. Luckily, where I live now, we don't have much traffic. But I've been through the fire, so now I think I've earned a little bit of ease on the highway, We learn a lot about ourselves, and I think we're getting closer and closer to who we really are now. The discovery of yourself, the discovery of what really is going to make you happy in life, the discovery of this Ace of Cups. Now, the Ace of Cups is kind of like an attitude. It's an essence, it's an energy, it's not really a thing. It's from this, when you attain this deeper knowledge of self, this transcendent experience of love and bliss and happiness, it doesn't really matter what you go and do. You're always going to lead yourself into the appropriate situation for you. It's not always going to be surface level pleasant, right? So anyway, back to the point with the Eight of Wands. I think you have a lot of options right now. And I think we need to perhaps pick the option that is going to give us the most long-term gratification rather than short-term gratification, because we've got obviously that Ace of Cups. We want this essence. We want this source of happiness. Maybe this is a career thing for some of you. Maybe this is a romantic thing for some of you. Don't pick what feels good right now. Pick what's going to be better for you in the long run. Okay? But I see you have a lot of options here. So it might be difficult. How can we choose? We can choose, again, the cereal that we know is going to please us right now in this moment, or when we get home to the breakfast table. Or we could pick the one that we know is going to be better for us long term, either the healthier cereal or maybe the one that's going to teach us that transcendent experience, right? Where we don't know if we're going to like it or not, and that's not really the point of it. So we have to go into things with an idea of what we're trying to get out of it, okay? Now, in the future position, we've got a Four of Wands. I feel the Four of Wands is talking about us making a decision and going in that path toward our Ace of Cups, right, is going to require us to say no to a lot of things. See, we've narrowed down our options. We had 8, now we've got 4, right? So it's kind of like eliminating those things that we know are not a contender, not a candidate, all right? And you're really good at that. Here's your Libra energy. This is the Knight of Swords. You're very good at making decisions. Even though I just said you got too many choices now, you can't make a decision, right? Once you have a plan or a strategy or a methodology, it's very easy for you to do it, you know? And I think with all this fire energy and then this underlying water that we see, as well as this underlying kind of, you know, the mystery of the whole thing, once you kind of have in your mind an idea of what you're trying to do, it's very easy for you to eliminate those things that are not candidates, focus on the few options that are remaining, and, you know, make your decisions and network and do your work, do what needs to be done. Maybe you have a few different job prospects, right? Maybe you're trying to choose, you know, a focus in school, in university or something, right? Maybe it is trying to sort out your feelings in family relationships, romantic relationships. Maybe we're trying to really, see, I think these are life readings. I don't think this is career or romance. I think it's everything together, you know? And this is idea in all of our choices, that we have to understand what it is that we're trying to get out of it. What are we trying to do in this decision, in this life? And that's going to help us make the decisions that are closer to our true desires, right? Not that surface level desires, but our true natures. Yeah. And we got this Ace of Cups. You can really have it all, you know? We just have to make the decisions and go forth with those decisions to manifest these things. And again, we've got all of these 4s. Let's talk about some of them now. We're going to switch to the path of the Serpent. And as I do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. And leave some comments for me. I really do enjoy when you all shout out where you're watching from. Yeah. I'm in the Chicago area. Wherever we have an audience that spans the entire globe, and that's really fascinating to see. I really do love that, and I appreciate all of you. I love all of you. Okay, so we've got this big doorway here. This is the mystery, right? The Moon card, and I feel like our essence is kind of shrouded. The source of our happiness is kind of shrouded in mystery right now. We're stepping beyond the veil. We're lifting the shroud. We're uncovering, and that is the Eon or Judgment card. This is a definite step in a positive direction. This is kind of taking a deep breath and stepping through the veil, right? Stepping through the portal. And this is usually a difficult thing to do, because a lot of these decisions that you're making, this uncovering, this discovering, this stripping away of things that is not us, so we can set them aside or discard these things that aren't us. It's like my daughter last night as we were going to bed. She likes to bury herself in all the blankets on the bed. And I was just stripping away the blankets. One blanket, nope, she's not there. Another blanket, nope, she's not there. 3 or 4 blankets later, there she is. You know, and it feels the same way with us. We strip away these things we think we like or dislike. Well, those are surface level things, right? The things that we kind of cling to, the things that we want in life, really, honestly, the things that we're building our towers with. That we're usually building those towers as a way to protect ourselves, to avoid pain, to avoid loss or discomfort or anxiety, right? And those are the things that we've got to strip away. I almost think we need a tower moment here. But this might be serving as that tower moment. This is one of those voluntary tower moments. A slow kind of tower process of taking those bricks down, right? That have been limiting you, that have been keeping your desires in a kind of narrow framework. So going through this portal, we have to look at the things that the choices that we're making, and we have to move beyond them. So this is a card that really says you're going to be stripping yourself down. We have to let go of a lot of things that we were clinging to. And it might be a process that takes a while. We have to kind of think, why did I like this so much? Why don't I want to give this up? Is it something that really is a part of me? And this isn't saying that we have to throw away stuff or get out of relationships or leave our jobs. No, but we have to look at all those layers and think, what is this? Why am I clinging to this? Why do I want this so bad? What is the reason for that? What is it doing for me? And is it something that I truly want? Okay. And whatever the answer is, it doesn't matter what the answer is. The point is here that we're looking at these things and we're realizing that none of these things are us. All right. The next card is the Four of Swords. It's in the position of the environment. This is how we close ourselves off to relationships. And now we're really getting to the heart of the reading here, because that Ace of Cups wants to flow. The water, the love wants to connect with everything, right? We don't want, stagnant water. The Ace of Cups, it's an odd number. It's a function, right? It's the water when you first turn on the tap. It's that moment where you're turning on and that's what we're doing now, I think. We're turning on the tap. And the water's going to flow out of that faucet. We don't know where it's going to go. It's going to go a little bit over to that plant, a little bit over here to the tree. Some of it's going to go down in the street probably, go to the storm drain, make it to the ocean. Some of it's going to get on our feet. Maybe it's going to hit the car. Maybe someone's going to jump in some puddles that we make. All of that is the unfoldment of the Ace of Cups. Right now, we're turning that tap on. And in order to do that, we have to remove these blockages. Okay. So I think the fours here are really serving double duty. Not only is it the manifestation of this love energy, the water's going to flow. But in order for it to flow, we have to get rid of the blockages that these cards also represent. Okay. This is the blockage really of having too many choices and not knowing kind of which direction to go. It's like we really want to turn on the tap, but we don't know where we want the water to go, right? And now the Four of Swords, like I was saying, is the way we block ourselves off in terms of our interpersonal relationships, okay? Because I think sometimes we'd rather avoid an argument, right? We kind of choose almost a passivity, or a pacifism even, just so there's no argument, right? And usually with ourselves, right? Usually we don't want to think about too many of these difficult things because we don't want to have this mental, emotional turmoil. And I think that blocks us off to ourselves because we're sometimes not willing to have a discussion with ourselves, But we're also closing ourselves off to discussions with other people, the difficult discussions. With the Four of Swords in your environment, I think there is a difficult discussion that you need to have with someone. Whether it's with yourself, whether it's just maybe speaking up for your own self-interest a little bit more, or if there's one particular situation or person that you're resonating with this reading, and you need to have that discussion. Okay. Now, finally, we've got the Four of Pentacles. Another way that this water energy, this love energy, this spiritual essence, this happiness, this source of all light and life, is going to manifest in your creative choices, your interpersonal choices, and your physical behaviors, right? And the Four of Pentacles is your finances, for one, and also your physical body. So there's a lot of self-care that needs to take place too. And I wonder if that's a difficult thing for you right now, is kind of focusing on taking care of yourself, right? Are you listening to your body? Are you letting some of this water flow to yourself, to your physical being? I mean, in a literal way, this is saying you need to drink more water, okay? This isn't a medical reading, though, obviously. But a lot of this Ace of Cups energy, this nurturing, healing, loving energy, supportive, compassionate energy, needs to be directed toward your body. Okay? In a very literal way. And also, I think we need to have a little bit more openness to the kind of the random events of life, and openness. See, because this is locking us up. This is a tower that we're building, right? And outside that tower is this lush, natural world, but we're staying in here, right? Because depending on how we perceive it, depending on how we're looking at it, this natural world, this intense love and beauty and joy, it's joy, but it's pain too. It's suffering and sorrow as well, right? But when we close ourselves off, and this is not just physically, this is also mental, emotional, and spiritually, right? Because the Pentacles contain all of the other elements. The earth is, the vessel for everything else. And we're closing ourselves off to prevent those painful things from getting in, to prevent ourselves from getting hurt, but we're also preventing the positive energy from coming in too. So we need this kind of gradual stripping away where we don't feel as affected by the seemingly negative experiences, right? That, of course, we don't want them. We want to avoid them, but not at the cost of avoiding all of the good, positive experiences of life too. So there's really an openness that needs to take place so that this 444 can manifest. And what we're manifesting is the Empress and that Ace of Cups. This is a lot of happiness, a lot of potential to pursue those things that really satisfy your soul. I mean, this is a really positive thing, and you're going to do it. You're going to have this in your life, and this, I think, is having the 444s is a very good confirmation. But I say we look at the confirmation card. See what that's going. I wonder if that's going to be another 4. I really do love the Empress here. I feel like with the Empress, I feel like you've got someone looking out for you too. I really do. I get a very maternal energy with the Empress card, obviously. And I think it's not just the kind of natural world. It's not just kind of the universe that is supporting you and nurturing you and healing you if you allow it. But I think that for some of you there is a mother figure that is very close to you. Okay. But this is yet another card that says we've got to listen to our bodies, right? Let's look at the mystery card. If you have an idea for this one, put your prediction down in the comments. I don't know. I don't really want another 4. But if we do get another 4, maybe it will emphasize which of these other 4s are really the focus, So I'm kind of thinking of 4. I'm kind of thinking a 6 of Cups. All right. Well, let's see what we have. No, there's that tower. Yeah, I kind of thought that might be a tower. But this isn't... the tower usually talks about things being very abrupt, right? It's just kind of all of a sudden things get shaken up and the bricks start falling away. I think as long as we are making this decision consciously to explore ourselves and to understand why we choose certain things over other things, to be more open to possibilities, to be more open to our own kind of heart and soul, and to heal and to, really love ourselves, then we won't have to go through that kind of abrupt tower moment. Now, I think the tower moments are when we have been building towers around ourselves and we've been maybe choosing certain things over and over again because we know that they feel good right now, not thinking of the long term. When we've been closing off our creative energy and our mental energy and our bodies, our physical energy, we can't see those abrupt changes coming. Then things that do happen that are kind of out of the familiar zone, they will feel like tower moments. When something doesn't quite go the way you're expecting it, it's going to feel like your whole world is shaking, right? So why don't we shake it up ourselves intentionally, gradually, slowly, right? This is kind of the difference between a sudden earthquake and then those little tremors that just allow the tension and the tectonic plates to dissipate, right? They just need to shift and relax. But if you don't get those, then eventually there's going to be the big one, right? So by continuing to do what we've always done, just because it's been working, eventually it won't work anymore. And that, I think, is probably why you have these. I feel like you have, because we've got the tower, we've got these fours, and again, the fours are kind of building up these towers. I feel like you tend to have these abrupt outbursts of just almost a chaos, I think things sometimes happen and it feels like the whole world is coming down, right? And I think it's because we've been keeping all of this tension in. We've been building more and more bricks. We've been stacking the bricks. And so we're not really comfortable handling any kind of change. Any kind of disruption feels like a giant surge of chaos energy. So let's go this route instead, I think. Some of you, it's very important to pay attention to horses right now. Look for horse symbolism. I don't know if you have a horse but pay attention to the horse synchronicities and symbolism around you, all right, for the time being. I also think some of you are starting to have a lot of muscle aches and muscle fatigue. See your doctor about that. But I think it has to do with this tension, honestly, right? This kind of energetic, it feels like we're kind of locked up because, the muscle cramps and stuff it's almost because the muscles want to move, but they can't, And I feel that energetically, spiritually with you. So let's do our extended reading, and if you want to stick around for that, click either above or below in the video description. I'm here every day from 6 to 8 a.m. Chicago time. Come back, see me again tomorrow. Okay. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Totally free. Doesn't cost you anything. And leave some comments for me. I really do enjoy reading all the comments. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.